Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. This is your UFC 261 Aftermath show where we'll be giving you a full recap of all the events that took place during Saturday night's main card. We'll also be taking a look at those updated fighter rankings from UFC.com and discuss who's next for both winners and losers. Lastly, we'll round off by taking a look at some of those Twitter conversations and memes. Okay, let's go into the quick recap then. So first of all, which kicked off the night, we had Anthony Smith defeating Jimmy Crute via TKO doctor stoppage, and that was the end of first round. Then we had Uriah Hall defeating Chris Weidman via TKO leg injury. It was absolutely devastating, and we hope Chris Weidman has a speedy recovery. Then our first title fight of the night, we had Valentina Schiffchenko defeating Jessica Andraj via TKO elbows in round number 2. Then in the co-main event, we had Rose Namajunas defeating Weili Zhang round 1 via knockout. That devastating head kick of hers. And let's see the reaction.
What's the politics of this? I mean, she didn't want to touch hands.
It's something to do with Rose's her background. What is she?
Go on,
remember where
Zhang.
she's from. Her parents were from. But
Holy shit! Thug Rose with the knockout!
Rose!
Thug Rose! Thug Rose!
It's just so good. It just caught me off guard completely when I was in mid-sentence. And then Rose Namajunas taking the women's strawweight title from Weili. Then moving on into the main event, we had Kamara Uzman defeating Jorge Masvidal in round number 2 via knockout, and this was our reaction.
Talk your way. Big right hand from Usman then.
Didn't quite connect though. Hit the chest. It was big.
Usman coming out early.
Oh! 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 Kamara Usman! TKOs! Jorge Masvidal!
Usman does it in style. Oh my god!
I fucking knew it.
Wow!
I fucking knew it.
Wow, you're next, mate.
The level of concentration there was just unreal. But yeah, our neighbours hate us. Let's join in with the boys now. Come on in, guys.
Oh, mate.
Hello.
How are we doing?
What an event.
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic. Yeah, I still can't get over it. I tell you.
Oh,
Mate,
man.
the reactions are quality, I tell you. And at the end of that Kamara Usman, when I was shouting at Kobe Compton, by the way, I was shouting saying, "He's next."
You're next. Oh, I see. I got you. I was wondering who you was picking on. You're next, mate. You're next, mate. I was like, all right, calm down. We're all friends here.
You were well into it, to be honest. But that's
But I still get nightmares. I do from what happened in round 2, or not round 2, fight 2 of the card.
Fight 2.
Yeah, the fight to Chris Weidman.
Oh
yeah.
man, that leg break. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
It was
horny
nasty.
stuff.
Oh, so cringeworthy. It really is.
No, absolutely.
And but it was the fastest fight card, main event card the UFC have seen.
Yeah, it's probably one of the fastest of all time.
I think it was second of all time. I think I did see this on the socials.
Wow.
I
1
think it was
hour and
second.
35 minutes.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it was UFC 20 something that is
right.
in the lead. But I did see it was the second fastest. Yeah.
Did anyone see round 2? We must have had at least 1 or 2 round 2s out.
Yeah, we
Yeah. Kamara and that
Oh,
that
yeah.
one ended in round 2, and then just before round 2, Jimmy Crute one ended, and that was it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Valentina getting a second round, didn't we? Or no, was that? No, that was the first round, wasn't it?
Man, it's crazy. It was just blitz through. The whole event blitz through. But I weren't complaining. Like, it was so good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all the
Yeah,
fans
don't.
paying to get into the room. I mean, I'm pretty sure they wanted to stay there for as long as possible. You know, the atmosphere was lit, and
Yeah.
some people were just milking it as well. I mean, Schiffchenko, she walked in like no one was there. She just had a game
she
face
did.
on,
Game face.
completely focused.
It was so nice to see fans
At
back
the
in
end.
the arena, and
Yeah.
they were absolutely roaring from start to
Yeah.
finish. You know, you could tell it had been such a long time.
Yes, you could tell.
But let's move on then. Let's
get
have
into
a
it.
look at let's get into a bit of a review and a look at those fighter rankings then. So I'll start off by saying Anthony Smith in the first fight of the night took the win against Jimmy Crute. He looked very comfortable on his feet. You know, he used his jab effectively to keep Crute at bay, landing that calf kick, which caused that Crute's leg to give way, really. Jimmy Crute had some success, though. When his leg did start to give way, he managed to get 2 takedowns on Anthony Smith.
He did.
He was so gutted to, not carry on.
I think he realised that he should have done that from a bit sooner. You know, when he in the later round, his leg was completely compromised. He had to shoot for the takedown as a last resort, but ultimately it was the right way to take the fight. I mean, partly because he's injured, but
I was going to say that the thing that baffles me is as we mentioned on the stream, fighters have carried on. We have seen it. Henry Cejudo carried on, and he actually won the belt off DJ Demetrius Johnson. He carried on and won that. Like when he walked forward just before they stopped it, it was okay walking forward. Just when he walked back, that he just wobbled a bit. I reckon he could have been all right. He could have been all right.
Could have been. I mean, he couldn't feel his leg. He didn't know what was going on underneath from waist down. You're right. I guess he could have carried on. I mean, probably would have saw out around as he did. You know, he did see out the end of the last round with that as well, didn't he? But ultimately, I don't know. It was too early on in the fight for him to
be fair, though, like Jordan mentioned, Anthony Smith was landing his jab throughout the whole first round.
Yeah.
He was taking over the round until obviously his leg went numb. But as you said, he did get the takedown. Yeah.
Anthony Smith then hasn't really budged. Jimmy Crute's moved down one.
He has.
Misha Serkinov has gone above him. Even though,
Okay.
It's kind of weird though because Misha Serkinov had a win over Jimmy Crute, right? So that's a bit of an odd one.
Him,
Yeah. And Volkan Oezdemir has gone up above Krylov.
Wow.
So, what's next then? Well, we got the potential immediate rematch then with Jimmy Crute. I'd imagine Jimmy Crute makes quite a speedy recovery and would look to get back in there pretty sharpish.
Yeah, I definitely think he wants to. He'll probably try and get back in there soon as, I think.
Yeah. He's frustrated. You saw that when the stoppage happened. He was so frustrated. So for him, he's going to want to take that out on his next opponent, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
the sooner he can do that, the better.
Yeah.
But who do you reckon's next for him?
Well, for Anthony Smith, if that's not going to be the case, I'd say Magomedov Ankalaev is a good option for him at number 7. Just one below him. But the thing is, he's that combat Sambo style fighter who's capable of finishing on the feet. So he's a tough competition, I'd say, and they're probably both evenly sized as well.
Definitely,
a tough one for Anthony Smith, but I think it's a good fight.
See who the winner is of or the loser of Prochazka and
Reyes,
yeah.
But if Prochazka is,
how about he has the loser of those two?
Potentially, but then I think no, they haven't fought before, have they?
No.
And Dominic Reyes sits in pretty at number 3, so that's going to be quite a nice bit of a jump for Anthony Smith if he's able to take out Dominic Reyes, and move straight back up into sort of the top echelon of the division. But for Dominic Reyes, he is a southpaw fighter with heavy fans. So more or less, I guess the game plan for Dominic Cruz would be a similar game plan to what he had for Jimmy Crute.
How old is Smith now?
I'm not quite sure.
He's been
early
around since
30s.
2013.
I think he's early 30s.
2013. He's been around since. Like he's a legend, if you like, in UFC so far, and he's been title challenging already. But his next wave's probably due us bout any time now.
Yeah, he's been in a few
he needs to be
main
back up
events
there,
as
top
well,
5,
so
challenging for the title. I'd love to see that.
We mentioned that in the stream, didn't we? Saying he's been at the top, challenged. But that's the thing. He always does bounce back. He always gets a couple of wins under his belt. But we just have to wait and see. Obviously, like you said, Ankalaev. I like the sound of that fight.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fantastic one. And it's also a fantastic fight for Ankalaev as well. The guy's on an absolute tear at the moment. If he could take out Anthony Smith, he's knocking the door for top 5. But as for Jimmy Crute, sitting in number 13, Krylov is a good fight. Nikita Krylov, because he's coming off of a loss as well. And Krylov dropping down as well a little bit.
True.
How would you like to see him against Johnny Walker's leg kicks?
Johnny Walker got fired. Johnny Walker, Jimmy Crute is a pretty good one actually, because I'd say both guys are at sort of a similar level in their careers. I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a
Johnny Walker should be fighting up though, shouldn't he? But, I mean, as good as that would be,
Well,
He's had a bit
everyone's
of
had everyone's had a lot of high expectations for Johnny Walker, but I think realistically he just isn't there yet.
Since he got flatlined by Corey
experience.
Anderson, he's just not been there. His chin's just been, I don't know, his chin's been dodgy, isn't it?
But going back to that Nikita Krylov option for Jimmy Crute, Krylov possesses this kind of karate background, really. And I think it could cause problems for Crute, especially if Crute's trying to close the distance and land those big shots of his. Krylov's got that wide stance, man.
Yeah.
And he's, it's sort of in and out in bursts. And I think it's a dangerous fight for Crute if that is the option. It's pretty a tough one, to be honest.
Have to resort to his wrestling, old Crute.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then I guess, you've got Ryan Spann in the mix as well. Krylov could fight Ryan Spann next as well.
That's true.
So. Okay, let's move on to the second fight of the night. We had Uriah Hall taking the win against Chris Weidman. Now, there's not really much to say at all, to be honest, because it ended in the first exchange with Weidman breaking his leg. So I can't really dissect what happened in the fight, but I guess we can talk about what things could look like going forward then. You'd expect that an immediate rematch will happen some point down the line. Now, Weidman's got to take some time to heal.
It's going to be about 8 weeks before he can walk.
Yeah, it's going to
on
be
his own.
He's going to be out for at least a year
And then
plus.
another 6 to 12 months
Exactly.
on top of that when it comes
to
to training
rehabilitation.
and fighting.
Yeah. So, and Uriah Hall's got to stay busy.
Yeah, of course he has, yeah.
So, for the options for him, Kelvin Gastelum rematch at number 9.
Oh, that's a good matchup. Yeah, I like that. Ooh,
A
I like
rematch.
that. Yeah, them two have fought in the, was it Ultimate Fighter, was it? Or
Yeah, I believe it was like 2013.
So a while ago.
It was a while ago, and yes, Calvin Gastelum is well up there in terms of rankings.
Yeah.
But, his latest run has not been particularly great, is it?
It's not been great, is it?
He's slipping a little bit. He does need to be given a win, I think.
Yeah.
And look, someone like Uriah, it's a great shot to take, and for someone like Kelvin, he needs to, like I said, he needs a win.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. But against someone who's a lot lower down there in the rankings. So I think that fight makes sense. Another option I've got in there: Hermansson versus Shabazian Winnan.
Yeah, it's a shout. Yeah,
maybe because they're fighting pretty soon.
So when's that coming up?
I was going to say Shabazian's a bit of a more stand-up guy, isn't he? So that would be an interesting one, him versus Hall.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think that would also make sense for Uriah Hall. Plays into what he likes to do best as well. But then also I've got in there Kevin Holland.
Yes, because obviously we all know Kevin Holland doesn't have any takedown defense. So
exactly. and
imagine that fight. Now you say that fight makes total sense.
It does. It's a great fight.
That's a great fight, I tell you.
And Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I mean,
even though Kevin Holland's coming off 2 losses, but still, stand-up wise, that fight would be interesting.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So. I like that. Yeah,
but I mean, that's a good opportunity for Kevin to get back in the runnings. Top 10. Yeah.
Holland's going to be looking to strike with Uriah Hall, and that's the sort of opponent that Kevin Holland's after, really. And I think the UFC would probably make that fight.
Yeah,
I think it's a perfect match for Uriah Hall in some respects, but also a dreadful match for Uriah Hall because psychologically, it's a bad fight for him because Kevin Holland's going to want to play in mind games, and Uriah Hall technically, fundamentally, is very skillful, but when his mind's not on point,
we mentioned this as well, didn't we?
Yes.
We mentioned this on live stream. I literally just before Chris Weidman broke his leg, I was just saying about Hall's mentality. He struggled in the show of the Ultimate Fighter as well, and he struggled a couple of times. Obviously in Octagon as well. I don't know what it is because he's got such talent. I don't know what his mindset is at. Sometimes he's not there. Sometimes, that's it.
Exactly.
He needs to be a bit more like Rose and say I'm the best. Affirmations. A lot more of that certainty ahead of the fight.
Yeah, confidence definitely does kind of hinder Uriah Hall's performances.
Yeah.
But as Dana White said before, he was like, I'd love to put Brad Pickett's brain in Uriah Hall's body, and then therefore you've got like an ultimate fighter. You've got someone with toughness and grit, as well as the fundamental skill set. And could be easily one of the best in the world in the middleweight division. So, but it's a shame.
Yeah.
Look at us. Okay. Going to therapy on the guy.
I know. Okay, so moving on then, and the next fight, we had our first title fight, Valentina Schiffchenko picking up the win against Jessica Andraj in what was an absolute dominant performance.
Yes.
She showed constant improvements that she's made in her ground game. She surprised us all with her strength, to be honest. You know, with Jessica Andraj, we thought Andraj would have the strength advantage. Schiffchenko was able to get the takedowns from the body lock and get Andraj into that crucifix position and rain down on elbows, really.
That deadly body lock of hers, though.
Who's next?
We watched enough.
Honestly, who is next?
Fight tape on her, and it was just insane. But yeah, good question. Ash, who is next?
I don't know.
Well,
Honestly, who can compete?
No, I mean, I've only got 2 options written down. I've got number 3 ranked Lauren Murphy, who's currently on a 4-fight win streak. Last fight, she won by submission. So, you know, someone in the top 5 at least. But if she's going to stay at flyweight, I think that's probably going to be the next option. If she wants to stay busy, that's the next option. But then other than that, we've got the 3rd fight with Amanda Nunes. If she goes up in weight, that's an option.
That's what I mean. It's been floating around social media as well, and people have been saying, but I just don't think it'll happen. But
well, I don't know. I think the good thing that's come out of that is I think it would give the flyweight division time to catch up.
That's true. Yeah.
If Valentina does take some time out, gain a little bit more mass, and does get that 3rd fight with Amanda, so
that's true. Did you see what DC said about them two, Nunes and Schiffchenko? He said that Schiffchenko skill wise is better than Nunes, but Nunes would win the fight.
Yeah. I did read that. It was purely because of Nunes' power and size.
Yeah, size.
Yeah,
and
strength. So
look, it's not a case of. I mean, even Schiffchenko said in the post-fight conference, right? It's not something she's thinking or asking for. Things going to happen immediately. I think Dana White even said himself that there's not enough appetite necessarily out there for him to be interested in entertain a fight like that. It makes sense, and it could come eventually down time. Yeah. He doesn't see Schiffchenko going up for it. You know, she doesn't really need to.
Them two are just miles above their division.
They are.
They're both just
It will
so
be a
much
super
higher.
fight. It will be a super fight.
But I mean, what's great about Valentina Schiffchenko is her movement, really. You know, and if she does put on that extra mass, then you lose the speed, really.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and you know, we effectively saw that in those 2 close fights.
Yeah. I was saying in the in one of the GOAT series, right? The new generation of fighters, you get these people who are ultimately standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So they're coming through. Then there's an advancement in technology or in training or knowledge, and with all of that, they are getting better. Like we can see some really exciting prospects coming through. The women's flyweight division here, and I got my eye here on Macy Barber, for example. You know, she it's going to be a while till she meets Schiffchenko, I can imagine, but you know there are people on the rise.
Yeah,
someone like Cynthia Calvillo and Vivian even as well. Probably get a couple more wins underneath their belt before they.
I wouldn't say they're quite there yet. I think Cynthia Calvillo is coming off a loss as well.
Well, I'm not talking more so about fighting anytime soon, but these are the people that are coming for her. And, and get a couple more fights underneath their belt, and they could be knocking on her door.
That's a
year or 2.
Go on.
I mean, we like the look of Miranda Maverick as well. In at number 15 at the moment, she's looking like absolute killer, man. And I think she can definitely cause problems in that division. It's just, you know, she needs a couple more matches before she's there to challenge.
I wouldn't rush her up too quickly, but someone I'm certainly excited for. In fact, that Miranda and Macy Barber fight would be fire. That makes sense to me. But we're not talking about that.
She is the women's Rick Story.
Rick
Story.
Remember Rick Story?
Wow.
So I'll go.
Built like a brick shithouse.
He was. Oh, man. And Donald Cerrone gave him that 3-piece and a soda.
Yeah.
I mean, I think pretty sure it was a 5-piece, but hey-ho. Okay, so let's move on to the co-main event then, as Rose Namajunas is and new women's strawweight champion in what was an absolute spectacular head kick. To be honest, perfectly set up as well. The way that she done it when she was edging forward, feinting the jab, and then boom, up.
Weili Zhang pulled her leg back, thinking it was going to be an outside leg kick, and bosh, went up high.
Exactly. Yeah. The thing is what Rose saw leading into the fight, and she said this in a post-fight interview, is that she saw the kick was there whilst watching the Joanna fight. But I don't think that Joanna was able to kind of materialize it, really. So she kind of saw it, and, and that's the reason why she got the job done.
Man.
She noticed it was there.
But also, she worked hard. She worked so hard. I mean, remember watching the Embedded series, right, before the UFC event. And Usman was just checking out some of the fighters, getting a bit of inspiration and stuff. And he's sitting in the corner of a room watching the hit pads. And he goes to the camera and he's like, somebody's going to get knocked out. And he wasn't wrong. Absolutely spectacular performance.
Oh, absolutely.
Rose
Insane.
with the upset.
It's a great win.
But like we said on stream as well, Pat Berry, what a legend. He was more hyped walking out than she was.
Yeah.
I know. And he gave her like a proper sloppy kiss to go in there as well. I mean, you want someone like Pat Berry in your corner. That guy just proper gave her the fire, man.
He's a hype man.
And, he even saw it before she entered the octagon. He was like, you're the best.
Yeah.
You are the best.
It's like when she was stood there as well, when Bruce Buffer was announcing her name, which gave me a bit of chills. I'm the best.
Yeah,
I'm the best.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the best.
That all came from Pat Berry,
Yeah,
and it's, he was like, what are you? He's like, I'm the best. It really sort of brought the fire out in her.
But that was it.
Spectacular.
I mean, she was a different person in the octagon, an absolute different, species, if you like, because she's Weili Zhang goes for the old respect forehand and touch hands before you fight. And she's just like, nah.
No, straight at it.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
But for Weili Zhang, she started off landing the calf kick early, to be honest, to keep Rose at bay, but just didn't discourage Rose at all. To be honest,
she found that kick.
She had
knockout.
one thing in mind, and that was it.
Was that your boy's knockout of the night? Was that the knockout of the night, or
I think so. I think it was.
Yeah, that was mine.
It might have been the last one. But great performance either way.
Okay, so let's look at what's next then for Rose. Possible rematch on the cards.
I think it's the only thing at the moment. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's the only thing.
I think the Dana White might want to do it, but here's the problem: is what I saw Chael Sonnen say in the week on the videos that he does. Really, it's funny how that Stipe gets starched and no one's talking about an immediate rematch and this John Jones thing. Although we did talk about immediate rematch.
Yeah,
but everyone's talking about the John Jones situation.
Yeah.
But for this one, it's like, rematch.
If anyone deserves a rematch, I think it would be Stipe. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, like in this scenario, I don't know. Does she deserve it?
Does she need more? Does she need time to kind of recover a little bit? Brendan Schaub was saying in his podcast yesterday, he was saying, what would you rather do? Would you rather break your leg or get knocked out like Weili Zhang did? Go on.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
Get knocked out like Weili Zhang?
I'd rather get knocked out. Yeah.
You'd rather get knocked out?
Yeah. Then break my leg. That was disgusting.
But your leg can heal. Your brain can't.
Yeah, but if
you remember it.
I mean,
no, in terms of taking damage, your brain doesn't fucking heal.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the body heals. You sure?
Yeah.
I mean, there's long-term damage, but that's the price you pay for fighting anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the price you pay for fighting, and
but your bones can
when
heal.
you step in the octagon, more people get knocked out than they do have broken legs. And if everyone left the octagon with a broken leg, more so than they did get knocked out.
Yeah, but getting knocked
It'll be a
out.
different
Does getting knocked
event.
out give you longevity in the sport? No, it doesn't.
I have to broken legs, to be honest. How many times can you break your leg before you can?
Yeah, but what year did Anderson Silva break his leg?
Yeah, and how long did he come back for? It took him about 4 years to come back, and when he did, it was just
he was never the same after it.
He was never the same, but he still kept fighting.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and there's arguably other things involved.
Everyone
in
who's
that,
got knocked out has come back.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone who's knocked out, who's been knocked out, has come back.
But
some have performed better than those who had broken limbs.
But what you don't understand is that once you get knocked out,
it does have
a long-term effect.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk at the moment, especially in MMA media and in the MMA community, is that fighters these days aren't sparring as much. Max Holloway, for example, he's not sparring anymore because he knows the fundamentals. He knows, how to react to punches and things. So by not sparring and going absolutely wars, complete wars in the gym and stuff,
yourself as fresh as
you're
possible.
keeping as fresh as possible. Exactly. So
Yeah, it's true,
you know,
yeah.
I'd rather.
Yeah, I like that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's,
Rather break the
it's the price they pay, though, isn't it? You know, they sign up
Yeah,
for
it's the risk.
You know, cauliflower is also part of that price as well as things that don't have
What do you
permanent
reckon's next for Rose?
Yeah, let's go back in there. So
Yeah.
we got Yan Zhong Anon.
Marina Rodriguez could potentially be an exciting prospect down the line.
Yeah, that's potential.
That's true.
But she's just coming off of a win against
Yeah.
Amanda Ribas. I think number 3 ranked Yan Zhanon. I think I pronounced that right.
You got a fight coming up as well. I think.
Is she?
Oh, no, maybe think of someone else.
I'm not quite sure, but she's on an 11-fight win streak and
Oh wow.
won mostly by decision. So nothing's blowing your hair back, but she's a tough individual anyway. And she's ranked highest other than Joanna, but Joanna's coming off a loss.
Yeah, that's true. Can't do that.
Yeah, and then you've obviously got the number 5 ranked Mackenzie Dern knocking on the door and submitting everybody at the moment.
Yeah,
absolutely, definitely, yeah.
You know, causing a lot of noise in that division.
One more win could potentially get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, you know, just above her, you've also got Carla Esparza, who's currently on a 4-fight win streak.
That would look like fire. I like that one.
You know, and it's a rematch as well. Because Carla Esparza beat her on The Ultimate Fighter.
I mean, Rose practically known for the person who just fights people twice.
Yeah,
she doesn't do things in one. She does it in pairs.
No, 100%. You know, and it would be a good win to get back. Really, you know, avenge a loss that was happened previously in her career. But Carla Esparza is her last 2 outings were split decision. So you know, close fights. I guess she could get the call. It's a bit difficult one.
Yeah, it is. Have to see what plans out. To be fair.
But, you know, as for Wei Li, what's next for her? Joanna rematch is always there. You know, both girls come off losses now.
Yeah.
So it was an entertaining fight.
It really was, but...
And if it's going to be on a card...
Get from, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess it is there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's well worth considering. It was a good first time round, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if that was to put on a card and it was going to be co-main, you have to give it 5 rounds, right?
Yes, because now they've obviously introduced a 5-round co-main event non-title fight in obviously Diaz versus Edwards.
Yeah,
so
for this one particular
nice
time.
one. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so I think that's something that's definitely on the cards.
I think that would make sense because for someone like Joanna to go up against Rose again, it's like. Of course, she doesn't deserve it at the moment, and I just think like it's something that we've all seen before, and she's beat her twice already when she was at her best. Considering
exactly.
Joanna was at her best when she first come up against Rose. So yeah, look, I think what's next for is obviously would be Wei Li Zhang and Joanna Jędrzejczyk go for that first spot, reclaim that first spot as you can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, both girls need a win. And then I think my other pick for Wei Li would be Marina Rodriguez, which you just mentioned, coming in at number 6. She's fresh off a win against Amanda Ribas. You know, and she's also an excellent striker. You know, it's quite a fun fight.
All right, it'll be good to see.
Give, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and a massive step up for Marina Rodriguez if she gets the job done there. You know, so. I don't know. We're not matchmakers, but you know, some exciting.
Dana White is
options.
tuning in right now, and you know what to do.
You know what to do, buddy. Kamara Uzman taking up the victory against Jorge Masvidal, round 2 knockout. He's
big knockout as well.
Big knockout. You know, Kamara Uzman stayed very patient. He used that jab and didn't let Jorge get into range.
Yes.
He did eat some elbows from top position though when he got the takedown. It kind of left us sort of at the end of the round thinking, this could be up in the air. This could be in for, you know, a hell of a fight, you know, a complete 5-round war. But eventually, Usman in the second round.
And the extra super necessary punches.
Exactly. Sets up that right hand and gets it done in the second.
He does. And you know what? There's only one thing scarier than a great fighter, and that's one that just keeps getting better. And I think that exactly of someone like Usman. I mean, he talks about it after his fight, how he's constantly learning, he's constantly improving. But at the same time as well, like he's worked on his weaknesses so much so. Like last year, people were talking about him being a boring fighter.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Masvidal was able to go through the full 5 rounds of him back last year when they first met. And, he was talking about how weak his striking is. He's not badass to stand and trade with him. But it was on the weekend where Usman was able to literally put the middle finger up to Masvidal and everyone else who thought that he couldn't strike as good.
Yeah.
You know, he was considered to be good at everything, but not particularly good at one thing. And, you know, he is well-rounded and improving on everything.
Yeah, his striking's come leaps and bounds, to be
really
honest. It's crazy what the work that he's putting in with Trevor Whitman, to be honest. But I mean, what's next for both of these guys then? So Kamara, Usman,
the thing that baffles me is that obviously I feel kind of bad for him because at the moment there's no one sort of doing anything in his division, and he's just, like he said in his press conference, he's lapping them, but they're not even fighting to sort of move up in the rankings. They're just holding their position, exactly like Masvidal didn't fight since her last loss, gets it again. Same with Kobe Covington. Dana White come out and said that Kobe Covington's next. He hasn't fought since them two. And that was, nearly 2 years ago?
No one's put in the work.
Kobe's been sat waiting on the sideline for that fight the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, to be honest. But, yeah, all right, okay, cool. I guess I can see Colby Covington, get annihilated by Usman again.
Yeah, I can see the animosity in it, and that's probably why. But, again, as I said in the live stream, you don't have to fight your way to fights anymore. You just talk your way into fights.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's so true. But also, looking at something like this, like if Colby goes up against Usman's someone, as I said a second ago, is getting constantly better. He's going through more and more fights. Colby's someone who's sitting on the sidelines. I think if it was to happen again, he gave him a tough time the first time in many octagon, but I think the margin will be evidently clear when they do the second time. So by all means, book the fight, but I don't think it's going to be the showstopper we're all hoping and wishing and thinking it could be. Okay. You know, I think it's going to be very one-sided. And that is just down to who's putting in the work. And Usman is putting in that work.
No, 100%. But aside from that option, we've got the Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz winner, potentially. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. If Edwards win, it would be smart for him to have a title shot.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Leon Edwards has been waiting there for this whole time.
He's been around. He has been.
Yeah.
Arguably, we'd want to see Leon Edwards. We wanted to see Leon Edwards rematch Bilal Muhammad because it made sense because they're eye poke. But look, he's struck gold, and the UFC have given him Nate Diaz. A phenomenal fight to get, and if he wins that, it's against a big name, a legend of the sport as well, an entertaining fighter who clearly people tune in to watch. So it's a good move for him, and if he wins that, he's there. Give it.
And here's one as well. I mean, it might not be immediately, might not be straight away, but someone who's sitting quietly waiting and silently approaching is Steve Wonderboy Thompson.
Exactly, I say it every time.
Yeah, we went to do it in a stream.
He's
there for it.
He's there. Stylistically, that fight is interesting.
It's a different style that Kamara Usman hasn't fought.
It's coming.
I know.
It's coming.
It's crazy.
And when it does, it will be fire. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not going to talk about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson now and who's next for him. But I would like to sort of think about what his road to Usman would look like. And I think probably one more fight and then.
Well, he's got Gilbert Burns now, so he's got to get through Gilbert Burns, and then he's definitely there.
Yeah.
There's no mistake about it.
What do you reckon is next for Masvidal?
For Masvidal, but with. Oh shit! I didn't really get that.
Nick Diaz.
Next for Jorge Masvidal.
Everyone's talking about it.
Everyone's talking about it, and we're going to get into it a little bit later on. So I guess that's the option that's there. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Jorge Masvidal looks into the realm of these YouTube boxing fights. I don't really want to touch upon it.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down that route.
Yeah. I mean, he likes money, Masvidal.
That's true.
One thing we learned last year with his big sort of campaign towards the UFC, he loves his money. And these YouTube boys can pay, so I feel like you're not too wrong about that. He could find him there sooner than we'd like.
It's funny, I'm not sure who he can actually fight, to be honest.
No,
what about
Chiesa?
I can't remember his name. I was going to say who beat Woodley last?
Luke.
Luque, that's it. Vicente
Vicente
Luque, maybe.
Maybe.
I know Vicente
does he
Luque
deserve it though?
on the rise, but
I don't know if he deserves it. Vicente Luque needs to go higher. I mean, Vicente Luque could probably be up there in a title shot soon. I wouldn't want him to do that before Steven. But
I'd love to see that. Imagine Usman versus Vicente Luque. Oh,
yeah, that's a good
it's going to
fight.
bring some problems.
Oh,
It
yeah.
will certainly bring some problems.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I'd quite like to see that fight, but
yeah.
you know, but hey ho, Kamara Uzman with his 4th title defense, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's now go into some socials then. Let's see what people are talking about on Twitter, and let's see what memes have come out of last weekend's UFC 261.
Yeah, so we've got Kamara Usman and Conor McGregor going back and forth on Twitter. We had Conor McGregor tweeting out that Usman's copying his shots, saying, "I am the fight this guy at some stage. What do we think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Conor McGregor should fight Usman? It's one of them, really. But then we had Usman replying to some of these tweets from McGregor saying, except for when I touch people at 170, they go lights out, which I agree with. And obviously he was saying, at 155, Conor McGregor didn't really knock out anyone. And apparently Kamara Usman, again, they're back and forth. Relax there, Carbunchals. You spotty back Pox. You were ringside last time. I thought a 170, 40 seconds is all it took. Why did you reschedule the Burns fight? What was the reason? And then Kamara Usman replied to this tweet saying he offered the fight to him and you went missing. Let's stay humble, young man. I already took your pride. Don't let me take your whiskey. So them two have been back and forth. Again, please do put in your comments if you think that McGregor should fight Usman. Me personally, not really. But again, yeah, please do comments if you think that fight does make sense or you would like to see that fight. Just going to move on to another Twitter conversation that did float around Twitter as well as Instagram. We had what Si mentioned a minute ago about Nick Diaz coming back to the octagon. Dana White did say in the post-fight press conference that Nick wants to fight. And Masvidal saying that he wouldn't mind fighting him, saying he wants to fight him by the end of the year, saying, I'm here. You want to do right by your brother? Because remember, Masvidal beat Nate Diaz. He says, let's go. I heard a lot of interviewers saying that you wasn't keen on what I did to your little brother. Neither would I. I feel that Nick is in a tough situation. I know what I would want to do if someone did that to my little brother. So that's back and forth. What do we think, guys? Do you think that fight makes sense? Masvidal versus Nick Diaz. Again, please do put in that comment section below if that fight would make sense or if it is an interesting one. Me personally, that'd be a good fight. And then next one, but sticking with Gamebred Masvidal, Chimaev even tweeted saying that tell Gamebred when he wakes up from Saturday night, I'm here, I'm ready to fight him in August. Again, what do we think of Chimaev versus Masvidal? What's that one? What do we think of that one? And then just going to give you guys some memes for the next one. Got to chuck some funny memes in there for you. This one's funny. So Usman sends Masvidal to Conor's bed. Again, remember, Conor McGregor got knocked out by Dustin Poirier. That one's a funny one. And then the next one was us on Saturday night. Every time a leg kick was thrown, this was us, especially Sai. Every time a leg kick was thrown, we could see his face. Back to you guys.
Okay, wow.
Boy,
So yeah,
boy.
there's a lot of things that have been spoken about coming off of UFC 261. One of them as well, which has been sparked up. A lot of people are now saying that Kamara Uzman is the welterweight GOAT ahead of George St. Pierre, and that Kamara Uzman is capable of taking out Prime GSP.
Ooh.
But look, this is what I'm saying to you. Listen to me now. If you believe that, okay, are you honestly telling me that Kamara Uzman, right, would beat Prime GSP? You are totally wrong. Now, Kamara Uzman has had 4 title defenses, right, and he's defended his belt against the same person twice. Did GSP ever do that? No. No, he didn't do that. Okay, now he did fight a lot of different fighters as well. But let's not take into consideration that GSP has got the best fight IQ that we've ever seen in the octagon.
Yeah.
So you don't tell me that GSP would absolutely power double Kamara Uzman straight across the cage and put him on his ass. 100% takedown defense, but GSP capable of putting Kamara Uzman on his ass.
Oh my beer.
Exactly.
Jordan's passionate about GSP. One thing I did want to say is that, who is next for someone like Usman? Yeah, you're completely right, because it's not. He is complete. He's constantly evolving, constantly growing, and the next thing for him to take on is GSP. Not obviously him in the flesh, because of he's out aged and out, but his legacy. So whilst I'm saying, okay, I don't think he's there yet, but
potentially
I think he needs to be considered for Hall of Fame. Not now, but he will be soon, and he's going to start being considered. He's got time on him. How old is he now? He's like in his 30s still, 33.
Kamara Uzman is 32, I think.
He's got a lot.
He's still got time.
Great time ahead of him to close the gap on GSP. And
I
think before long he will be there.
The closeness of these two. Please don't. Like Jordan's saying, they're trying to compare Uzman with GSP. Please, not yet. All right, not yet.
Not that.
As I was saying earlier, though, our fighters of today are standing on the shoulders of giants. And by just by sheer development and
like 4 title defenses for the same guy twice.
Yeah.
So
Kamara has not wiped out his division yet. He's still got competition. He's still got Vincente Luque. He's still got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yeah, to name a few. Yeah, Michael Chiesa, who's coming back in.
Didn't say Colby.
He's still fighting guys he's already beat. GSP didn't do that.
Yeah.
In GSP's day, if you lost against GSP, you go to the back of the line.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You go back down there. You don't wait for 1 or 2 years and, there you go, mate. You can have another shot.
Yeah. Uzman, okay. He fought Masvidal on short notice.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that one.
And took him to a decision, right? Yeah. But in the rematch, he was able to stop him, right? You telling me that GSP fought John Fitch and then fought him again straight after that GSP wouldn't finish him? Of course he probably would finish him. He was close to finish him in that fight.
Yeah,
he got him down so many times. Probably one of my best GSP performances. But second time round, are you telling me that he's not going to put him away?
Here's the thing that makes GSP one of the greatest of all time is basically how he's able to stand up to those new generation fighters that have been challenging him. Usman is fighting people amongst his generation at the moment, but let's see when those new generation fighters start coming through, and if he's still able to, when he's in his later 30s, do what GSP had done. That's when we can. That's when he's really knocking on the door of that.
This is arguably, obviously, this is our opinion here. So if you guys out there don't agree with what we're saying about GSP, please, we would love to
let us know.
Yeah,
please do comment about if you do think that Usman is there or close to GSP. Please do let us know.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be interesting to find your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, definitely.
So cool. Let's have a look at the events calendar.
Yeah, let's have a look at the events calendar.
Yeah.
Go with it, Si.
So, look, this is going to be really exciting. This week is going to be the first event of May. You're not going to want to sleep on this one. It's going to be a really good start to the month. It's going to be Reyes versus Prochazka. That's on the 2nd of May. This Sunday or Saturday night, if you're over in the US, we'll be giving full coverage at 3 a.m. here in the UK on the Sunday morning, nice and early. Make sure you get some good sleep beforehand to tune into that one. After that, we've got Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. So that's going to be a really big event happening the weekend after that. So that's going to be May the 9th or Sunday 9th of May or May the 8th if you're going to be over in the US watching this. But that's 1 a.m. BST, so slightly earlier for us to go over here in the UK. Following that, we've got Aloe Vera versus Chandler. So this is going to be another big event for the card. This is going to be at the Toyota Arena, Texas, United States. And this one here is going to be May 16th or May 15th on the Saturday if you're over in the US. But it's going to be quite a late one for us over in the UK. 3 a.m. start Sunday morning for that one. Final events here in May on the 23rd. That's Font versus Garbrandt. Big old fight. I can't wait to see this one. But it's going to be 12 a.m. BST. So slightly earlier for us over in the UK to catch. That's on May the 23rd. Or May the 22nd in the US. Then we got Adesanya versus Vettori. This is June the 13th, 3 a.m. early time over here in the UK for all of us. But catch that on Saturday on June the 12th, the day just before. for that fight in that main card. And then following that, we've got Cyril Gane versus Volkov. So this is going to be an earlier one for all of us in UK, 10 p.m. on Saturday, June 26th. So Saturday, June 26th, mark your calendars for that one. And we're going to be wrapping up, with a really big event. This is the Poirier versus McGregor, something that's been talked about, something we're all excited for. It's going to be on Sunday, July the 11th, or Saturday, July 10th. But 3 a.m. BST, so English time, T-Mobile Arena over in the US. And that's Las Vegas, United States. We'll be giving full coverage of all of these events, so do tune in and make sure you're catching up with us over at ATF for the fighter breakdown, the commentary, and of course the all-coveted fighter reactions that we deliver for you guys. But we're a big fight fan community, so we'd love to see you and love to share and get your comments up on screen too.
Okay, that's all we got time for, guys. This is your UFC Aftermath show. Thanks for joining us once again. And we'll hope to see you this weekend for a watch-along.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
Peace
Thank
out.
you.